The War with Mexico. I have scarcely slept a wink, Ethan Allen Hitchcock wrote in his diary on June 30th, 1845. Hitchcock was a colonel in the U.S. Army stationed in Louisiana. His commander, General Zachary Taylor, had just been ordered to lead his men to the banks of the Rio Grande, a river in the southwest side of Texas. Hitchcock knew that this would bring trouble. Violence leads to violence, he wrote, and if this movement of ours does not lead to others and to bloodshed, I am much mistaken. Hitchcock was not mistaken. Taylor's march to the Rio Grande started a war that gave Americans a huge territory taken from a defeated Mexico. Manifest destiny. Even though Thomas Jefferson's Louisiana Purchase of 1803 had doubled the size of the United States, the country was a lot smaller in 1845 than it is today. Its western border was the Rocky Mountains. To the southwest was Mexico, which had won its independence from Spain in 1821. Mexico was originally much larger than it is now. It included Texas, New Mexico, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, California, and parts of Colorado and Wyoming. Then, with the help from the United States, Texas broke away from Mexico in 1836, calling itself the Lone Star Republic. In 1845, the U.S. Congress added Texas to the United States. By that time, many Americans believed that their country should expand or grow larger towards the West. One of these expansionists was President James Polk. He told his secretary that one of his main goals as president was to get California into the United States. A newspaper called the Washington Union supported Polk's idea with these words: "The road to California will be open to us. Who will stay?" Meaning halt or stop the march of our Western peoples. Soon afterwards, in the summer of 1845, another newspaper editor, John O'Sullivan, wrote, "Our manifest destiny is to overspread the continent allotted by Providence for the free development of our yearly multiplying millions." O'Sullivan was saying that Americans should be free to occupy all of North America because God meant for them to. His words, manifest destiny, a fate or purpose that was clear to see, became a slogan for expansionists. For a long time, Mexico and the United States had agreed that the border between them was the Nueces River, about 150 miles north of the Rio Grande. But during Texas's fight for independence from Mexico, Texans had captured the Mexican general Santa Anna and forced him to say that the border was the Rio Grande. This made Texas bigger. Afterwards, President Polk promised the Texans that he would consider the Rio Grande the border, even though Mexicans still lived in the area between the two rivers. So when Polk ordered General Taylor to move troops to the Rio Grande, he was challenging Mexico. Sending the army into territory inhabited by Mexicans was sure to cause conflict. But when the soldiers reached the Rio Grande, they found empty villages. The local Mexicans had fled across the river to the city of Matamoros. Taylor started building a fort with cannons pointed at Matamoros. By the spring of 1846, the army was ready to start the war that Polk had wanted. All it needed was an excuse. Then one of Taylor's officers disappeared while riding along the river. He was later found with a smashed skull. Everyone figured that Mexican guerrilla fighters had crossed the river and killed him. The very next day, Mexicans attacked a patrol, killing 16 soldiers. Taylor sent a message to Polk that the fighting had begun. Stop it right there.